Ever since I've been posting a ton of videos in my hardcore world, tons of people have been asking me, Eagle, what are your mods and resource packs? So in today's video, we're going to go through a clear and concise list of all of the mods and resource packs, even a couple of shaders that I use in all of my hardcore worlds. Please remember to like and subscribe, maybe even turn on post notifications, and enjoy the video. And alright my friends, so I want this video to be finished in different sections. And the first one I want to go over is actually visual and immersion mods. Starting us off is Iris. What Iris allows me to do is it allows me to go into options, video settings, and over to shaders. And now I have all of these options for shaders I want to use, which of course I've downloaded them all. And let's just say I want to turn on this shader right here, press apply. And as you can see, now I have some beautiful shaders on. Pretty cool, right? The next mod is Visuality, which enhances particles, water drips, and ambient effects. Like for example, let's just make it start raining. And okay, you can see the rain right now. I know it looks a little different, but we'll get to that later. But as you can see, when it's raining, you can kind of see like streaks of water going down the stone. Also, if I head over here towards the water, you can actually see that it's making little droplets on the water, which that is awesome. There's tons of other little features, but let's move on. And also, as you can see, when I'm in a lower area after rain, there's a nice little fog effect, which this is super chill. And the next mod on the list is actually Ambient Sounds, which you can kind of hear right now, so take a little listen. So yeah, as you can see, it added a nice little crickets effect down here. And let's just say we want to head to a different area. In this biome, it's a little bit more subtle, but you can still hear it when you have it on. So what it does is, depending on whatever biome you're inside, it'll make a different noise that sort of makes sense for the biome that you're in. And yeah, you got some pretty good examples. The next mod is called Cool Rain. So I guess we have to start making it rain again. But now that I'm close up to these leaves, you can sort of hear it right now. It actually sounds like water is falling on leaves. And then let's head over here next to this water, and you can actually hear it falling on water. And my favorite example of it is actually with this block right here, the deep slate bricks. Yes, I know it's dark, but it sounds a little bit metallic when the water falls on it. So as you can tell, those last two mods just add those little tiny noises that add so much ambience. Now we're on to the mod Particle Rain, which let me make the time day, and I guess you've been seeing it the whole time. It makes water fall at a sort of angle, and it makes it look a lot cooler. The next mod up is actually called Lamb's Dynamic Lights. And what this mod is you know how it is super dark inside of caves like this? And have you ever wanted it to be a lot brighter, but you didn't want to have to download something like Ultra Bright or Full Bright? Well, with this mod, whenever you hold a torch either in your offhand or in your regular hand, it illuminates the area around you, and it does it pretty smoothly as well, which I like it a lot. It works with all of the torches. The soul torch, I guess it does a little bit less just because it isn't as bright. And then the brand new copper torch, I think it has the same exact amount of glint. And alright, moving on, the next mod I have is called Better Grassify. What this mod allows me to do is, if you look at this grass texture right here, you can see there's the grass on top and the dirt on the side, which we've all seen this before. But what this mod allows you to do is, now that I'm in here, let's turn on Better Grass mode to fancy and look around and see that the sides are actually covered with the same top texture. However, if I want to remove this block right here and there is like a sort of dirt on the ground, then you can see that these two have regular sides. So whenever there's a grass block surrounding another grass block or right next to it, it adds the connected texture. There's also the fast mode that makes it so that that feature doesn't apply. It just makes every single time you place down this grass block, it is just fully covered. But recently I've been really liking the regular grass sides just because I've been away from it for so long, so let's turn that off right now. Next mod up is called Blur Plus, which it seems really tiny, but if I open up my inventory right here and press E, you can see that this entire outside area is actually blurred. Usually it'd be super clear, and it sort of takes away the main focus from the inventory. So anytime you open any sort of UI, let's just take for example a barrel. If I ever put a barrel down and look inside of it, it blurs everything around me. So every time you're inside of any sort of inventory or a UI for a chest or a job block, it blurs the area around it. It's a tiny mod, but it definitely adds a lot. Leaves Be Gone is a mod that I have been questioned about a lot. What it allows you to do is, let's just say I want to chop down this tree right here, go bam 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 and bam, you can see that the leaves disappear right away. Usually you have to wait for those leaves to decay, but I've never really liked that feature, so this just sort of speeds it up a lot. Let's finish removing all of these logs in this tree right here, which I guess it's a little big, so it's kind of hard. As you can see, pretty much all of the logs are removed now, and the tree went away right away. This next mod I actually adore. It is called Not Enough Animations. Let me just show you one of them right now. I have this map right here in my hands, right? Now I'm going to hop into third person person really quickly. And I'm going to press F, and as you can see, there is a super smooth animation from switching hands. It's also the same for pickaxes and torches, but what it allows the torches to do is it makes them get put up in the air, kind of like you're actually trying to walk around with a lantern or something. Which, let me, I guess, grab a lantern really quickly. As you can see, we're holding a lantern up as well. Pretty much the only other animation I can think of is let's just put these ladders right here and hop into third person, and as you can see, I actually have a nice little animation climbing up the ladders as well. So as I can said, this adds a lot of immersion and is really cool. I like it a lot. The final mod for this section is called Better Stats, and what this allows you to do is let's just head into our statistics screen, and there is a whole different UI. I'm not gonna lie, I barely go on this screen whenever I actually need to, but I guess it's just super cool to have. There's also a little search bar right here that allows you to search up any statistics that you want. And okay, so the next section we're going to go over is cinematic and camera tools. The first mod is called Flashback. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to press start recording right here, and let's just fly around. Or we could come down here and do a little jog through the village, maybe even punch a little sheep right here. And now I can end this recording, save it, and when I close out of the world, you can actually see that there's this nice little flashback button on the side. Now that we're in this little screen, I can press this recording I just made, and as you can see, it shows me going around doing all the stuff I was talking about. Like, it shows me running down and going for a jog in the village, and then as you can see, it shows me punching the sheep as well. Poor little sheep. I mean, I could really make a whole entire video for different flashback tricks that I have, because I use this mod for my time lapses. There's stuff you can do, like you can change your FOV, you can change the time so that it doesn't flicker in and out in time lapses. You can turn on night vision. Well, you can also do keyframes. So let's just say at 0, 0, I want to be facing right here. And then at 7 seconds, I want to be facing right here. We're just going to add that little keyframe in, and the time lapse, say I want it to be 3 seconds long. And now over the course of these 3 seconds, I'm going to be changing from this keyframe right here to this keyframe right here. This mod is genuinely so great. And as I said earlier, it is how I do all of my time lapses. The next mod is called Freecam, and if I press G right here, you can actually pop out and you're a little character and you're able to fly around. It even works in survival, so let's go into survival really quickly. And if I press G right here, you can fly around and you can see you're kind of like in spectator mode. This is really useful if, like, let's just say I'm building like where one of these villagers are and I need to see the roof. Now I can see this corner. Oh yeah, it's a nice little corner. Little things like that, it is just so useful for. The next mod is called Camera Utils, and pretty much the only use I have for it is when I press page up, you can see that I've sort of like detached my camera right here. And as you can see, I can like fly up and down, maybe even go towards the camera, but it is really hard to control. And then, hello, I'm right here. Super cool. But the last mod of the section I want to talk about is actually called Ortho Camera. Ortho Camera is let's just head into here. This is because I do not know what the keybind I have for it is. As you can see in here, you can go like up and down. And when it's enabled, it gives you this nice top-down view. And you can like jump off and like jump, let's say I'm frolicking through the village. It gives you this incredible top to down view and it looks super cool. A lot of people use this mod for different types of thumbnails and all that pizzazz. But it is very hard to use and I barely use it, so let's just turn it off. But alright, the next section I want to go over is the building and creative tools. Which the first tool, guys, we're not stranger to this, is called Axiom. And as you can see, I have a 10th slot, and in here we're able to do all of these different things. We're able to erase, extrude, smear, stack, clone, which is like copy. We can move stuff around. Like, let's just say I want to grab that right there and grab it right there, and then I can pick it up and move it over here and confirm it, and yep, that land is now right here. Also, if you press right shift, it takes you into this nice big editor UI with all of these different tools that you can use, all of these different settings for them, all these blocks, all of these world properties. You even have history, keybinds, windows, tool masks, all that stuff. I could legit make an hour-long video detailing all of this mod and all of its different features. Probably a lot longer than that, honestly, but we don't have enough time for that. But what I will show you though is a nice little test of its skill. If I press right here, I can go to script brush, and in presets I have the clear foliage setting on. And now if I right click and hold, you can clear all of this foliage in the area. But now we have like this weird looking terrain, so we can go to smooth and we can up the radius a little bit. And now we can smoothen out this entire area. You can smooth it all, and I mean you really can smooth it all. Or if you want to roughen it, you can do this, and then it emits all of these like weird looking blocks. and then I guess you can smooth it again. Just cool things like that. Also, you can use the slope tool, which let's just say I want to start it right here and slope it down here. You can actually drag this and it'll make a nice little slope coming from all of the different areas. Now we have a nice little slope, and I guess we should smoothen it out as well. And as you can see, there's this little part right here that's sticking out, so we can go into the elevation tool. We can flatten it down, hold down here, and as you can see, it flattened out this entire area, but it's not going that fast, so I'm going to up the rate to like 26. And now you can do it with all the blocks again, pretty much just flattening this entire area off. And then of course we can go with the smooth tool, do it over and over and over again, and smoothen it all off. But finally, the cherry on top that I like to do, take the painter, make it a grass block on the right, and you can paint over all of this area, turning everything that you cover into grass. Like I said, this is an incredible mod of so many different features, but we just don't have enough time to get to all of them today. What I do have enough time to do though is move on, which we're going to move on to the Litematics mod. What Litematics allows you to do is it allows you to take a stick, and let's just say I want to select this area right here, then put the other selection right there. Now we have this nice little selection, and if we press M on our keyboard and go to area editor, let's just say I want to name this like grass blocks. I would set it and then save the schematic into a folder, and then if I wanted to paste that into like my survival world or something, go to load schematics, and let's just say I want to go to like my second barn in my 100 days. We'll go load schematic right here, and as you can see, we can move it around. This is my barn that I built in the second 100 days video that I made. So what we do is we hold down left control and scroll up one, or actually multiple. I forgot we're not in survival. And now we're in schematic placement, so I can hold down like my set keybind, which my set keybind is Z, and you can pull it towards you, push it that way, or you could go to the left or go to the right. And then let's just say I wanted to paste it in. You could go paste schematic and world, go to the other keybind that I set, which is minus, and boom. Now we have the beautiful barn that I had designed in my 100 days video. And then if you want to get rid of that border, you'd go to loaded schematics and just unload it. And now we have the build with no more border. So Litematics is an incredible mod, and you should 100% use it if you ever want to get into content creation, or simply you just want to copy and paste your builds from creative into survival. But moving on from Litematics, we're going to move on to Minihud. The main use I have for this mod is if I press the desired keybind, which for me it's H, it shows all of the different light levels around you. Every red block you can tell mobs can spawn. Let's just say I want to grab a torch or something, and if I place it down, you can see it allows you to see all of the blocks that aren't spawnable by mobs, hence they're green. But I promise you that is a very specific niche of this mod. It can do so many different things. Like in the top left, you can look and see that it says like the date. It shows which direction I'm facing, and also shows like my coordinates. But those are the specific ones I set for it. If we head into the Litematics configuration menu, you can see that all of these different mods sort of use the same thing. So we can head into Minihud, you can see all of these different settings. So yeah, this mod is really insane, and it allows you to do so many different things that you wouldn't be able to do without the mod. But that was the final mod of the building and creative tools. Now we're on to quality of life mods. First off, we're going with easy Elytra Takeoff. So I'm going to grab an Elytra and some rockets. Let's put on the Elytra right here. Usually, let's head into survival using Axiom. And as you can see, usually you have to jump, glide, and then take off. But what this mod allows you to graciously do is just right click while standing, and there you go, it shoots you off the ground. What this is cool for is whenever you're in the water and your Elytra just doesn't let you swim, or it lets you swim super slowly, because you're still in the flying animation, you can just right click and yay, now you're in the air. Easy Shulker boxes is another mod that I have that allows you to grab Shulker boxes, which let me grab it right here. Let's also grab a chest really quickly, and let's just give myself like a bunch of like rotten flesh, I guess. This is 1,000 items of rotten flesh. So what I can do is I can take my Shulker box, and actually I can drag and right click on all of these, which this is with the help of another mod that I'll get into later. But if you just get this mod, you'd have to go singular, go on each and every single one like this. But then I can go into this chest and I can drag it out again. So it allows you to do some super cool stuff with Shulker boxes. And when I grab all of these and hover over it, you can see exactly what items are inside of the Shulker box. Next mod is called Easy Anvils, and pretty much the main use that I have for this thing, funny enough, is actually for name tags. So all you have to do is shift and right click, and now you can name it anything you want. So I'm just gonna name it like game or something. I don't know, that was the first thing that came to my mind. Now we can name anything that we want in game. There's a couple other features, but I don't really use them, just because they're a little bit more on the less vanilla friendly side. Wait, actually there is a little use that I guess you guys can use. Let's just say I want to grab a bunch of different tools. If I put this down right there and I can put the diamond pickaxe and then the axe, you can see that both of them actually sit on top of the anvil. And yeah, I mean, it does add a lot of detail, so this is the only other use I have for it. Next up, we have mouse tweaks, which mouse tweaks was exactly what I was using earlier to be able to drag across my inventory. So let's do this really quickly. Let's grab another chest, put a bam bam. Now I'll give myself a bunch of grass blocks. Now we have all of these grass blocks right here, and what it allows me to do is if I shift and right click, you can just drag across, and I mean, man, this is so nice to have. Let's get all of this back really quickly to show you that before you'd have to individually go each and every single one like this, and sometimes it gets just a little bit annoying. But with this, you're able to just drag it on both sides. You can just keep doing it over and over again. It's actually kind of fun. You have a nice little circle of it going on. The next mod is called Item Swapper, and what Item Swapper allows you to do is, let's just give an example really quickly. Let's grab some oak planks and some spruce planks. Or instead of spruce planks, let's go like a fence or something. And if I'm on this block right here, let's just say I want a trapdoor, but I don't want to go through the process of going into the inventory and grabbing it. I can hold down, which my set keybind is caps lock. And as you can see, there are all of these different types of versions of this oak wood. Literally anything I could need is right here. So let's just say I want to grab a door instead. Now we have a door. And for the spruce fence, it's the same exact thing. You can change the different wood types and everything. Like, I mean, man, this is so cool. Let's just grab some food really quickly. Let's just head into survival. And as you can see, I have like this nice little inventory. But let's put all of these tools actually up here. Because I want to do is show you how if you hold caps lock in survival mode, you can go to any of the tools that you have in your inventory. This is what I use for my hardcore world. It is so nice. Let's just say I'm at the axe, but I don't want to put a hoe inside of my inventory, or my hotbar, I mean. So I can just hold caps lock and scroll up to the top, and now I have my hoe in my inventory. Also, it works if you have like food and rockets, like random stuff like that. If I hold caps lock, you can see all of these items right here, but the only one I could use other than this is just like golden carrots. So it is an extremely useful mod, and I love using it every single time I get to. Also, since I'm using caps lock for this, that's why if you ever see me in any comment sections or anything, sometimes if I'm recording and playing and like in a stream at the same time, I'll accidentally have caps lock on, and I'll type out a long message and just be like, oops, sorry, caps lock. It's because I use this mod so much that I'm always toggling it on and off. But overall, an amazing mod, and I 100% suggest that you use it. Toggleable item frames is pretty simple. Let's just say get an item frame and a sword. If I want to put the sword in the item frame right here, you can see that it shows the item frame, but sometimes you just want it on the side of blocks. Like for example, if this is like my swords chest right here, and I want to put a sword on top of it, if I shift and right click, you can make the item frame disappear. Now we just have this sword on top of the chest, and it looks so cool. It's so simple, yet it adds so much immersion. For the next mod, I need to grab a villager, which I guess we have some handy dandy over here. If I head over to this guy and try to trade with him, let's just say I don't like this guy's trade and I want a carrot trade. I believe the default key is C, and it allows you to cycle the trades. So let's just say I want to spam it all the way until we get carrots right here. Or if you don't want to use that C keybind, you can just press this arrow right here and you can switch it. That eliminates you having to like have a composter and have to like break it and then place it back just to reset their trades. So super quality of life. The next mod is called Appleskin, and for me to show what it can do, I need to actually go into survival and take a little bit of damage. As you can see, that yellow bit on my hunger bar is slowly dissipating, and then now my actual hunger bar is going to start dissipating. Let's do it again. Let's drop down all the way from right here. And now you can see I'm pretty hungry and I'm pretty low. Let's just say I have these golden carrots right here and I eat them. You can see my saturation goes up so much, as I mean, the saturation is the yellow part, and it's also healing me. So it shows you exactly how much saturation you have, and it shows you how much hunger you have. Also, if I ever have like a food item, it'll show exactly how much saturation it's going to give you and exactly how much hunger it's going to refill. So let me eat this right here, and as you can see, it filled all of that saturation up and all of that hunger up. So that's another super quality of life mod. Better F1 is super useful, and my main use for it is when I'm walking around getting like cinematic shots. Just say I want to have a pickaxe, but I don't want to show my toolbar. I can press F1 and now I can see the pickaxe, but I don't see any other UI on my screen. Also, if you press it a second time, then it makes everything disappear. If you guys are familiar with the regular F1, all it allows you to do is go between this mode right here and this mode right here. But the mod allows you to have this nice little in between. Now, Better F3 is actually an incredible mod that allows you to change your F3 screen. It also allows you to have custom colors, custom separators, and all that other stuff. So it allows you to clean up the F3 screen that you had before. As you can see, my days played is in the top right, and my block and chunk relative and coordinates all on the left side, and my version and FPS as well. Oh man, client giant sort is one I have been asked for a long time. Let's just say I want to take all of these miscellaneous blocks from around the village, and let's look in this chest right here. This is actually a perfect example. Let's put all of these items inside of here, and let's just say I want to sort all of the stuff. All I have to do is take my mouse and press the middle button, which is the scroll wheel, press it down, and as you can see, it sorted this entire chest. If you shift and do it, it actually does a little change. I've never actually been able to figure out what it does, but I think it makes it go from like the number of items. So as it goes like 7, 4, 3, 2, and then just the ones. But then regular, it does it backwards, I guess. I don't know. I think this is just going by A to Z, but then B's at the end, so I have no idea. But amazing mod, definitely recommend. And now, all of these mods are able to be customized. Usually most of them. But what exactly allows you to customize them? You may be thinking, hey, I don't know how to go into a file and customize mods. So what this next mod called Mod Menu allows you to do is it allows you to, inside of this game menu screen, you can go on mods and you can see all of the mods that you have. So let's just say I want to go into Ambient Sounds and I want to change like the regions and the wind region, and I can change like all these settings. Or I could go to like easy shulker boxes and I can change like these settings. So like borderline, what I'm trying to say is it allows you to customize any mods that you need to. Also, it gives you an A to Z sorted list of all of the mods that you have. So this is probably one of the most important ones that we're going to go over today. And now the next mod is called Resourcify. So if I go into my options resource packs, you can see I have all of these resource packs, which we'll go over these later. But in the top right, you can see this download icon and this plus icon. The download is to download any newer versions of any of the resource packs that you have, which let's press it and it says I'm up to date, so I don't have any. But if I press this plus icon, you can download any of these resource packs straight from Modrinth. This is so amazing. Like, let's just say I want to have visual armor trims, which dang, this might actually be one I want to have. You can install it right there, and then if I head into here, you should be able to find it right here. Yup, and then I can apply it, and now we have a brand new resource pack, just like that. This is definitely one of those mods where when I found it, I never stopped using it. It is so incredible. Like, how does that even work? Anyways, moving on to the most important mod of this entire video. This mod is called Sodium, and what Sodium does through means I don't understand is it allows you to have your FPS be raised dramatically. If I didn't have this mod on, I'd probably be running like 110 FPS right now, and I have an RTX 4070. But as you can see, with a 28 chunk render distance, I am running 310 FPS and even higher at some points. Absolutely incredible, and you don't even lose any sights or anything. It doesn't change anything and make it look worse. Definitely the most important thing of the entire video. Next mod up is called Big Sign Writer, so let me grab a sign really quickly. Put this right here, and we have like this custom little area inside of here. If I want to turn the big text on and go to like the retro text, I can put like a big R or something, whatever R stands for. Or if I don't like the retro, I can change it to sharp and make another R. Now that's a little bit cooler. Or I could put like my friend's name in here, Sam. So yeah, super cool. And while we're here, I might as well show another mod. It's really annoying when you have to press a sign and then have to press done to get out of it, especially when you use them a lot when you're building and you have to do this over and over again and you have to press escape over and over again. So what this mod allows you to do is it allows you to shift and right click, and it allows you to not even be inside of the editor UI at all. You can place as many as you want and you don't have to keep pressing escape. Yeah, super awesome quality of life mod. The next mod is called Gamma Utils. So let me just head into the cave down here. What this allows me to do is it allows me to press a key on my keyboard. Should be page down, and yeah, now I have full bright on. Then I can turn it off. It allows you to change your game to the exact brightness you want it to be. So yeah, that is all of the quality life mods. AKA, that is the end of the mod section of this video. Now heading on to resource packs, these are the things that make the game look super special. So when I head into resource packs, ignore all of the ones on the left, but these are all of the main resource packs that I use. Starting with like Vanilla Tweaks. Vanilla Tweaks allows you to change so many different things. There is a whole website for it, and it allows you to customize resource packs and put them into your game. So like for this one, these are all of my GUI tweaks. That's why my crosshair is so tiny. And also 1.21.10, these are all my main tweaks that I have. An example I can show is like, let's just go to Bedrock. I have like this alternate sort of texture for Bedrock. I think this makes a little bit more sense. So yeah, it's just a bunch of tiny stuff like that. Obviously there's the one that we downloaded earlier, but then this mod, this is probably my favorite resource pack. It's called B-Dubs Water, and what it allows you to do is you can tell the water is a super solid color. There is no texture on top of it, and it looks super chill and just laid back, sort of like a pastel color. Super smooth, and like this is my vibe. Moving on, we have fancy crops. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a seed right here, a potato potato right here and a carrot right here. Then I'm going to grab some bone meal and make all of these to their max size. And as you can see, this is one of the shorter variants of this. Man, stop walking in my way, dude. You're so annoying. Like, the wheat is a little bit taller right here. And I'm sure if I were to make another wheat, it'd be, yeah. There we go. You can see it's like in the middle. And then the potatoes have this nice little flower texture on them, which they're also variated in size, because you can see right here. And then finally the carrots, which are, I mean, you guessed it, variated in size. And all of these crops just look a lot nicer. Another resource pack I have on is called Germs Better Leaves. And it makes every single leaf in the game look like this, like super bushy. I mean, let's take a look at the pale oak, I mean the mangrove, all of these different types of acacia, I guess. And that's how like the acacia looks, that's how the mangrove looks, that's how the cherry looks, and that is how the pale oak looks. Like I said, they're just bushier and they're super cool. Oh my gosh, guys, we're almost done here, but the next mod I want to talk about is called eating animations. So I'm gonna take like an apple here, take a carrot, and I mean, hey, let's just take like a chicken. Now let's do what we did earlier where we drop down. Guess we're gonna have to do that again. Boom. As you can see, every single time I eat one of these carrots, it adds a nice little animation. Also, with the apple, it leaves like the core in the center. Super, super cool. And alright, the last resource pack I want to show, which I've actually had off this entire video, just so that I do not spoil it, let's come into here. Let's go to fresh animations and hold on. I mean, I guess it's not updated yet. What I was trying to show is actually called fresh animations, and it just gives every single mod in your world a little bit more of an animation. Like these villagers walk a little nicer. The cows have their own animations too, and they don't look super robotic like they do now. But yeah, my friends, I do think that is going to wrap up this entire mods and resource packs video. Everybody has been asking me about these, and I mean everybody. I am working on getting a mod pack downloaded. For some reason, it's just not working for me. I guess I'm just not doing it good enough, or maybe I'm not searching hard enough, but I really am trying. So sometime soon we might have a mod pack that I can share to you guys, but for now we don't, and I guess I'm just gonna have to work on that. However, you should have a list of all of the mods and resource packs down in the description below. Thank you all so much for watching, and always remember that Jesus loves you. Everybody stay safe and have a fantastic day.